Tour Divide, day 6, just leaving Lincoln, Montana. My first night in a hotel, and what I thought that would mean was clean clothes, good long sleep, good food, and what it actually meant was definitely a lot of good food. And showering with my clothes, which are all now still wet because there was no laundry facilities available in town. So let's call them loud and rhythmic bangings from the room above me last night, late into the night. So it's 6 a.m. now. We'll see how today shapes up. I've got a few options for where to stop. Helena is about 100 kilometers away, so that's my lunchtime target. There's some climbs between here and there. Got Stemple Pass first, then Priest Pass, I think, and then in between those is the famous Llama Ranch, where I'll hopefully stop for a snack. After Helena, which is a big city, we have the notorious Lava Mountain, so that'll be a third big climb. Basin is another town, not to be confused with the Basin, and that's about 160 kilometers. So it's almost 7:30. I'm a little over 10 kilometers into the 15.7 kilometer climb up Stemple Pass, the longest climb of the tour so far. I thought I'd talk a little bit about food, because as I think I've mentioned before, many people say that this is really an eating contest, not a cycling contest. Honestly, this is a part of the ride that I struggled to get right so far. I've been inconsistent, haven't made the best choices buying things, but I'm starting to find my rhythm. Yesterday was the first day when I feel like I actually got it right, and it was helped by having a few kind of more targeted stops in the day. I found one of the hardest parts so far is actually being able to get the food down. Things that are heavily loaded with carbs, they feel incredibly difficult to chew and swallow after you've been riding for a while. So a key piece of this whole thing is resupplies and making sure that you get them right. And I think this is an area where I still need to tighten up. I have a written list of things that I need to think about when I'm in grocery stores. I haven't been using that list. I've been just going on instinct, which I don't think is a smart decision. Witness right now, I have 3 bags of gummy bears in my bag. Not the great decision. I've been trying to mix up the food. So there's tortillas in here, I have peanut butter, I have a few different packs of tuna, salmon, things like that. Get some protein, some oils, some salt. To try and give myself some variety in there. The other thing that I've started to do now is to reintroduce caffeine at targeted points in the day when I know I'm going to suffer. I try to have one of those available mid-afternoon because I usually suffer somewhere in the kind of 2 to 3 o'clock window. The nutrition piece has been hard because when you're constantly on the go, you're constantly burning energy. And so when I've got the nutrition wrong, or when things haven't been open for resupply like I thought they would be, like at the end of day 4, I found myself with very little food the next morning. It's hard. Last video cut short a little bit because I came around a corner. I went from road to this. I'm now pushing my bike up a steep dirt trail. It would be rideable with fresh legs. But for me, right now, my first hiker bike of the day. Don't know how long this will be. Doesn't look very long on the map. but this was a surprise. Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. Onwards. Top of Stemple Pass is very tough. Once again, I'm sure the camera doesn't show just how steep this is. My garment's telling me this is a 16% grade right now. I'm off the bike as this terrain is very challenging. So I'm going to walk this bit. Back on the bike, 13% grade. I can see from the footsteps along the side of the trail, a lot of people just walk this. Just reached what I think is the top of Stemple Pass. Not much of a shelter. I'm going that way. Up to the famous, Tour Divide famous, Llama Ranch. Hi, buddy. I wish I could spend some more time here, but unfortunately it's early in the day and I need to crack on. Empire Mine. Cool. Hi, cow. Thank you. High meadows up at the top of a mountain. Summit of Priest Pass. It's 1 o'clock. I've done 75 kilometers with about 5,000 feet of climbing so far today. About 21 kilometers to go into Helena, which is the biggest city in Montana. And I'm gonna have some lunch there. Check this out. This descent is silly. Somewhere on that descent, and I crossed over 1,000 kilometers for the trip. Paved road, oh, glorious. Smoky Valley ahead, and I could smell smoke. I've seen 2 firefighting helicopters in the last 20 minutes. A little bit nervous about what I'm heading down to. Starting Llama Mountain. 20 kilometers, 1,000 meters, that's 3,000 foot of climbing. Yuck. Halfway up Llama Mountain, 10.7 kilometers to go. 6:45, so I've been at it for about 2 hours. Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. The smoke has cleared up. Unfortunately, the climb, while not very steep, it's not the smoothest. This part would be very rideable were it not for this being the 4th mountain pass of the day and with nearly 10,000 feet of climbing under my belt. I'll be back on the bike in a minute. This is less rideable. Hi Bunny. Any bears around here? What do you think? Any bears? No. Hoppity hoppity hop. The descent is just as bad as the way up. Wow, and it's getting dark. Sun's gone down behind the horizon. Chasing it now. Just a little way left to get to the peak. And then hopefully the horizon will be significantly lower and I'll be able to descend in light. About 6 kilometers to go until the very small town of Basin. Absolutely brutal day today. 160 kilometers, it'll be just over 160, and 10,000 feet of climbing. Big day, one of the big mountain challenges complete. Llama Mountain was a monster. But hell of a day.